Hi and welcome to another Vlogmas video. Today I'm going to do a little review of my 2023 season competing with Eriders. So I wanted to do this just to sort of compare what our marks were like as we were going through the season, and also to see what areas would be best for me to really focus on this winter when I pick up riding again after Christmas. So I'm going to look at all my intro tests. I did one prelim test right at the end of the year, but I'm going to look at that separately because that's a level we're new to, so I don't kind of really want to include it initially in this. But looking at these intro tests, I can see that first movement, entry and working trot, we were getting 7s for every single test. So I'm really pleased with that, setting a good standard for the test, giving the judge kind of a good first impression, which is important. I know a lot of that was to do with lessons that I had with Katie from Informed Equestrians. She gave me some tips on how to do a really good centre line, and that's shown throughout all of these that I got 7s for my centre lines. So next I'm looking at circles. Now, interestingly, pretty much across the board I've been getting 6.5s for my 20-metre circles and 7s for my 10-metre circles. Most of our comments on our 20-metre circles are about suppleness and contact. Suppleness and contact on circles seems to be a general comment, so that's one thing that I'm going to take note of going into training this winter. So next up I'm going to look at the changes of rein across the diagonal in a working trot. We seem to get good scores for this, mostly 7s. I think that's because I tend to come around the corner, get onto that diagonal line and think, right, let's go, let's really show off a really good punchy trot, and I ask him to go more forward. So maybe a little note to myself there that actually I need to be asking him to do that trot all the time, especially on those 20-metre circles. So yeah, more forward riding when we're doing other movements is what I'm going to take from that. Next I'm looking at our medium walk. Generally we're scoring a 7 for that. One of them does also have the comment of could have more purpose. Got a 7, but it still said what could have more purpose, and that is something that I do think when I watch videos back, I think his walk could be a bit more forward, a bit more marching, like going somewhere. Definitely want to work on that one over the winter as well. Next up is my nemesis, the free walk, and actually I'm pleasantly surprised. We have averaged around about a 6.5 to 7 for our free walks, which I'm really surprised at. It's something I've always struggled with, and I know there's so much more that we can do there and much more improvement. The comment is always that he needs to stretch more, and quite often it's out. He'll stretch down, but he doesn't stretch out. Yeah, I know there's definitely more to come there, so more marks to be gained there as well. Another thing to add to the list for winter training. And then our final centre lines and halts, and actually we're 7s across the board apart from the last test we did where we got an 8, which is just amazing. Again, I think that's totally from the tips that Katie taught me about how to turn a really good line onto your centre line and how to ride that centre line really well and straight. I feel like the centre lines is another place where there's more marks that could really easily be gained with just upping it a bit more, making sure I'm dead straight, getting those halts square every time. So yeah, and that's quite a good one to work on over winter because wet ground and things, but walking and halting on wet ground would be okay. So yeah, another one to add to the list. So our collectives for rhythm have all been a 7. One of them's actually been a 7.5. So for suppleness, we have been scoring 6.5. Suppleness has always been one of our things, and it's something I really need to work on. It's not just important for the dressage test, but it's important for him now he's getting older. Keeping him supple is really important. Every single judge's comment mentions suppleness, that this is something that we need to work on, that with suppleness we'll develop better contact, we'll develop better stretch, he'll stretch better in the free walk and things. It's mentioned in every single judge's comment. So yeah, suppleness suppleness, suppleness, suppleness. So on to contact. We've got a 6.5 and most of our tests are 7 and 1. And comments always about him needing to maintain a consistent supple contact. So that's the next thing. I mean, it's the training skill. We've got rhythm. We now need to get suppleness and contact. For my rider position, I've been getting a 7, which is, yeah, feels quite good. That feels quite good. You don't really get comments about your position in the judges' comments. It kind of tends to always be about the horse. I'd love to get a little bit of comment about that. Because I'm quite into biomechanics and things, and yeah, I'd like to know a bit more about that. But I do have something that can help me with that going into next year, and that's the Black Dog Biomechanics app, because I can film myself riding. It'll analyse my position and I can see where I can make improvements. So for riders' results, we've had 6.5, kind of 7-ish for most of them. That's to do with how responsive they are to your aids and how correct your aids are. I definitely know I can get lighter with my aids. He can get more responsive to them. So that's another thing to work on over the winter. So on to the canter test. Now I only did one with Eriders this year, so I don't have anything to compare it against. But I know the thing we need to work on is canter. And that's fine. It's going to take time. I'm hoping throughout the rest of winter to do some more arena hires and be able to work on it there. But yeah, a lot of it is confidence related, so I need to work on that too for myself. Yeah, so this is where 2024 is going. I'm done with intro, but yeah, moving forward into when I start regularly doing the Eriders tests again come next spring, it's going to be prelim. It's got to be prelim. Intros, we're done with intros, and it is time to move on to the prelims, and then fingers crossed pretty quickly after that, the novices. And then who knows? I'd love to get to elementary, but you know, we'll see. I find that a really interesting exercise to do, and actually if you have competed, whether it's with Eriders or somebody else, or you know, live competitions with your riding club or affiliated, I really do recommend sitting down with your tests from a season and seeing where your similarities are to build up a plan for training. I will do another video, but probably not until the new year, where I'll talk a bit more about how I'm going to take all of this information and transfer it into a winter training plan. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. We are nearly there. Can you believe it? It is the 22nd today, so only a couple more days to go. I've got a special vlog coming on Christmas Eve that I'm so excited to do. It actually was a little bit of a suggestion from somebody, but I have put a festive twist on it. So look out for that one on Christmas Eve, but I will see you tomorrow. Bye.